Iron Patriot and Victoria hand, we're making a roguelike deck. How's it going, folks? Welcome back to the Snap Academy. I'm Muse, and today we're diving into our two newest cards, Victoria Hand and Iron Patriot. Iron Patriot being our Season Pass card, and Victoria Hand, the card that is releasing alongside with it. I had to fight some battles with this deck. When I was brewing, I really wanted to play Devil Dinosaur, but I found when I was playing just straight up Shield, Devil Dino really didn't have a home. It felt clunky, it didn't really fit in with what I was trying to do, trying to get the value off of Victoria Hand. Yes, our hand was really filled out, but I didn't get to play Devil Dino, and that's really what we were all expecting to be able to do. But on this kind of all-in Shield build, it really didn't work out that way. So starting off with Iron Patriot, he is a 2/3. On reveal, add a random 4, 5, or 6 cost card to your hands. If you are winning here, this location, give that card -4 power. Pretty easy. Make a card, make the card cheaper. It's a nice little 2-in-1, not too complex, but he does have a few different layers. Starting off, getting a free 4, 5, or 6 cost card, awesome, especially if you have Quinjet down, you're automatically getting -1 off the top. But kind of the mind game behind it is, if you get a card, maybe like Arnim Zola, that you're not going to use, you don't have to keep playing into that lane, forcing your opponent to really make a decision. You're playing mind games here, which is kind of my favorite part of Shield, so that you kind of start punting it and start playing somewhere else and making a quick pivot. On the other side of that, if you get something that you really like a Magneto that you're going to play for 2 later, you really want to play into that lane, which is kind of the overview that I really like about this deck. Looking at the card list, all the cards are 3 power or less, because we're really focusing on the card generation and really what we're doing with those cards. I really like the flavor behind it with all the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Unfortunately, we're not playing Nick Fury, but we do have Coulson, and kind of using all these big, powerful, strong beings in order to kind of build out their deck, which is where that roguelike comes from. You get to choose which cards you're playing, whether that be with Kate Bishop getting the arrows, or Snowguard to modify the lanes with the eagle or the bear. They also get that +2 power. The arrows get the +2 power. And a note for Kate Bishop is the Toxic Arrow loses its buff when it goes to the other side, so you're getting -2 on the other side still. And that's but the heart of the deck is you're using these kind of smaller creatures, non-powerful. Snowguard's got powers. Collector, you're building up by getting all of these cards in your hand, using that value generation to kind of go wide and tall at the same time. Victoria Hand is a perfect complement for this style. She is a 2/3 ongoing. Your cards that were created in your hand gain +2 power. So this does not work with Thanos, does not work with Arishem. It only works with cards made in your hand. Cable also doesn't work because you're drawing it from their deck. It's not generated. And this is why I really took out all the higher cost cards so that we can get more of that value. +2 is huge, but you're only getting it to about half the board. So in order to maximize it, we need kind of a higher ceiling for that. But if you have a Quinjet and you have the Iron Patriot go off plus a Valentina, I do really like Valentina in this deck, you get that added energy, that added value. You can play a lot of Sentinels even and to go wide with, making all of those 1/5s, which is just as good as Hydra Bob. I really like playing that. So kind of the rest of the cards is kind of card generation Shield cards. We're looking at Agent 13, make a card. Quinjet, make everything cheaper. That was created in your hand, so we can get it down at a better value. Snowguard, we're making 2 cards. We're doing location generation. I really like that. It did come in handy a lot, especially for the greedier decks. Playing the Eagle down, turning off that limbo. Super fun. Same thing when I got a Legion generated in my hand by an Agent Coulson. That was my game-winning play, getting rid of their limbo as they were trying to play into the Infinite on turn 6, do a full soak, something I know very well. Check out that deck. Collector, we're just getting the value off of this. You're generating cards the entire game. He doesn't need to get big, but 2/8, 2/10, I've seen Collector get a lot, and that's really great value. Hawkeye, we all know Kate Bishop. She was in the same Spotlight cache, so if you got her, fantastic. All 3 cards this week fit in the deck. Grandmaster, maybe, but he's not in this deck. Sentinel is just kind of our repeatable trigger. Gain the value off of that Victoria Hand, making it a 1/5 after the first one, being able to drop in multiple locations, always having something to play. Valentina, I actually think finally has a home in a straight up shield deck, as you're getting that extra value, you're getting the boost back, so you're not really losing anything. So you don't need to play Luke Cage unless, you know, your meta, your pod, your MMR bracket forces you to, because everyone's playing something where you're required to play Luke Cage. And then our two really kind of big tech cards, excluding Snowguard, are gonna be Rogue and Red Guardian. Rogue, because, well, people are gonna be playing Victoria Hand, but it's also pretty fun to grab their Iron Man, grab their Mystique, grab something that they're playing as well. Even grab their Devil Dino if they're playing Devil Dinosaur. I happened a couple times where folks were playing kind of the same build, but with Devil Dinosaur, and we just stole that Devil Dinosaur for ourselves. So Rogue is really kind of Devil Dino at home right now for the starting week, but is going to be a great tech card, kind of moving forward against those negative decks, grabbing their Gores, their Iron Men, things like that. And Red Guardian, just to turn some things off, maybe turn off their Iron Man, turn off any cards that they have that are combo pieces, turn off their Wong, just kind of break down theirs as we're generating value without really losing a lot. Red Guardian at its base is a 3/5, giving that -2 power, and then rounding out with Agent Coulson to get a 4 and a 5 cost card. You don't necessarily need another 6 if you're getting one from the Iron Patriot. There are a lot of great 4 and 5 cost cards, and that value, again, we're turning those cards and giving them +2 power and then subtracting 1 energy cost, which is really good value. It's kind of like a super fastos. Everything in this deck is 3 power or less, so that we can play the cards, generate the cards, get the power, get the value. We don't need to get too greedy with this deck because our hand's going to be full of all kinds of stuff. We're going to be getting tech cards. I got a lot of Lady Deathstrikes. I got a Destroyer, which I turned into, I think I ended up playing it for 214 at one point, clearing out an entire lane. I actually used a Destroyer on a Krakoa and then had a 214 power Victoria Hand. So playing into locations as well is really key, and why this deck is so fun. I think going to be really good in Conquest because they can't really play around what you're doing. Yes, you have your kind of baseline core package of all the shield agents, but they don't know kind of your win condition, and honestly you don't know your win condition either, which makes it really fun. I think this is going to be a really good draft deck. I think Victoria Hand's going to be great for draft when that comes out, and kind of all the shield cards in general, which is really why I think we got kind of these cards to really fill out for draft when that comes out. I can't remember when they said, but it's going to be awesome. This was one of my favorite Conquest decks, kind of that Dino Shield package, as we didn't have as much synergy going on. But with all the cards we have now, I really think that you can build a full shield deck, and this really kicks ass. If you really enjoy the chaotic nature of the shield archetype, I really think this is a fantastic deck to play, but it's also going to work with Devil Dinosaur, maybe not as much, probably Iron Patriot more than Victoria Hand, but I really like diving into just the shield archetype. I think it's super fun, super chaotic. So overall, I'm going to give Iron Patriot a 5 out of 5. I really think that this is a perfect card, perfectly balanced at Thanos.
Reality is often disappointing.
I do think it gives a little bit of something. You're kind of playing a game within a game, and it can be a standalone card. Overall, I give Victoria Hand a 3 out of 5 stars. She needs a whole lot of build around, and kind of the shield archetype can be a little clunky when you're not playing into that. So you really have to focus on building cards in your hand, possibly destroying. Overall, I give Victoria Hand a 3 out of 5 stars. I don't think she's bad by any means, but isn't necessarily a standalone card, something you can just plug and play. She requires a lot of build around, and you kind of take up board space with that, having a card that generates more cards and then trying to play those cards without playing too many cards to generate. So it can feel a little clunky and requires a whole lot of build around. Let's dive into the deck breakdowns and the highlights. All right, let's hop into some gameplay here. I really want to go over kind of my thought process behind the cards, how I'm playing them, why I'm playing them, and really just kind of break down. This deck isn't very linear. What you really want to do is honestly build board space. So honestly, starting with the Agent 13 and a Vormir is great because we want that board space for the cards that we are generating. Yep. Oh, God. Oh, I love you so much. Okay. So as we go through, we want to find the value with our cards. Let's see here. Captain Marvel, fantastic card to start with. Because that's where we're going to get our boost from Victoria Hand. Same thing with Valentina. If she gets destroyed on Hala, it's okay. I also really want to do, I think I do want to do probably Hawkeye first. If we claim it, great. If not, oh well. Now we have options here to kind of start working into our game plan. The hub that actually does work into our game plan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Unfortunately, it filled up our hands. So we'll go here, Valentina to get another big cost, which we can play on curve on turn 4. Our opponent hasn't done anything. Let's see what they're playing. So Galacta turn 4 is not bad. We do have our Victoria Hands, which does boost our Captain Marvel as well as our basic arrow. So we don't really have a lot of ongoing, so the Spectrum doesn't help. We could also Red Guardian that Galacta so they kind of lose some power. And then basic arrow here for a little extra power. Maybe we'll drop the Hulk there. We'll get the bonus from whatever we play here next turn. So let's actually put that right, kind of spread out a little bit. If we need to put Captain Marvel on there, that's great. But we hit the Galacta. They're kind of popping into our Hawkeye here. Very okay with all that. Victoria Hands ongoing. Actually, we could Iron Patriot to get another card. But I think that I want to kind of spread this out. They don't have anything that we can rogue, unfortunately. So I might just make something here. Victoria Hands. That way we pop this off, have a little bit of extra power. We're not going to get the free energy from Iron Patriot, but that's okay. Ronin, I do like. Okay. They're also playing a little Victoria Hand action. So honestly, I truly think that we could do like a Hulk here and win. I don't think they're going to drop their entire hands. I think the Hulk might be a little bit better. The Captain Marvel won't really help us too much since we don't have enough power on the board. So I mean, we can just drop a OG Hulk, and I think that might do it. Or not. Oh, hoping for the Bruce. Won the lane, no Bruce. GG. So yeah, it was a quick pivot. We had a lot of options there. Unfortunately, we got the Iron Patriot out a little late, but they just couldn't kind of keep up with really what we were doing. The Victoria Hand only boosted 2 cards, but we did get that nice little bit from the Acid Arrow. So I mean, we just pivoted. That's what we did. I originally wanted to play the Captain Marvel. We got the Hulk. It was enough power. Easy peasy. All right, on to our next one. Really hope to see some more Iron Patriot here. I kind of showcased the card, being able to pivot either way. We do have a decent start, though. With the Quinjet, the Great Portal actually is cool for us, even with the She-Hulk here. So yeah, we'll Quinjet and start playing cards. I hate that every time I have the Collector in my hand, I always get something, but I can't play the Collector yet. Yeah, start Collector, and then we'll go Collector into Iron Patriot. You need to play Iron Patriot by 4 to get the full value off of it. Because on 5, you get the card, but you can't subtract it. All right. And honestly, I may... Yeah, I may, this Iron Patriot into Snow Guard, which would give us 3, that's 6. So we can still draw a card. So they're going the Sentinel route. Those are all going to be 1/5s with their Victoria hand. Hellcow's not terrible. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So if we do, actually, I kind of want to do the Rogue here. Yes, it takes up everything, but that kind of helps out. And then we can kind of dump a little bit on turn 5. Two Gwynjets is going to be pretty solid here. And I'll take that over just kind of subtracting the energy on Hellcow. So we can play more cards on turn 5. So we can actually do like a She-Hulk into... I mean, 2 cards here is pretty good. But I would rather almost make more cards. So we'll do... Hawkeye, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we'll just do Sentinel and then see where we pivot to. Ronin's fine because we're going to actually dump. So I'm actually going to go for... Ooh, Victoria Hand's solid here. So I'm going to do Victoria Hand. We're going to punt right into... probably Hellcow mid for a little extra power here. And then we want 2 cards here. So let's actually go with the Bear to put another card in my hand, get a Collector, and then Sentinel to get another card in, and then just kind of have a little bit of power everywhere. So we're going to get energy to our Hellcow, not the Sentinel, She-Hulk, Snow Bear. We'll get power off of all that. That should be a decent amount of power here. We're punting right. Let's see where we go. Oh, double Ronin. Let's see if I can make enough power here. So I get a card, but they get power. Then I get 2. Oh, actually, that Scar would have been real nice here. Did I break the game? Am I recording? Yes, I am. Okay. I broke the game. Too many things happening. And GG. So yeah, that Rogue really helped us out so we can dump our hands. I like having the Rogue and the Red Guardian in as tech cards because you can grab their stuff. I could have grabbed a Ronin over here if I really wanted to later. So you can always pivot with Rogue. Rogue's super underrated. All right, and for our third one. So far, we've had a pretty good showcase of being able to pivot and just kind of play to the game plan. That's why I think this is going to be a really great draft deck because you can do so many different things with it. Yeah, let's just do Quinjet mid. We can give them our Snow Guard to get it out of our way. Hope that we get that Victoria Hand in. The Snow Guard itself isn't too much power, so yeah, no Sentinels this time. Lost their Wong. I'm cool with that. You know what? I'm feeling good, so I'm actually going to snap. We can do a little clog action here. And then drop the Valentina, and then we know exactly how much to put in the Oscorp Tower. Ooh, Gamora, that's actually pretty solid, especially with 1 cheaper. And then we will do... Yeah, just Valentina here is pretty solid. So we have kind of a whole batch of cards that we can put in. Ooh, Mockingbird's really good here. All right, so let's I mean, a little late on the collector, so I guess we can start adding cards here. I kind of want to just do, let's do collector into Snow Guard. for now because they're not really doing a lot. There we go. So they're probably punting left. So we can play into there now. Iron Patriot does help us. We can do a little Mockingbird over here. Or we can wait till next turn. Yeah, I kind of want to do Iron Patriot now just to give us an option. And then we will Snow Guard. And yeah, cost 1 less. So we'll have a really cheap Mockingbird, and then we'll see what we get out of. Null does not help, so we do not care about Null. We're going to play into some other things here. So we're going to go like Gamora, Mockingbird. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's 11 here. It could be a little weak, but we're kind of... Actually, you know what? I'm going to change that. Because we're going to Gamora here, because then we get the extra boost. This is more power. And then Mockingbird right. Easy peasy. Planted. We didn't need the null. So not too bad there. We did get the value off of the collector. They were really just hoping we were playing an ongoing deck or something along the likes of that. Yeah, super great. Overall, I'm really excited for the Dark Avenger season. Again, I think Iron Patriot is a truly perfect card, and Victoria Hand does support, and we'll see in the future how she really shakes up. If you enjoyed these card breakdowns and deck highlights, make sure you snap those like and subscribe buttons. It truly helps the channel out. We'll see you in the next one. Happy snapping.